it comes to the anxious attachment style and the avoidant attack. Ooh, they go together like peanut butter and jelly and make a stale ass sandwich. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Dyme and we what? We back at it again. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. Come on in and grab a seat. However, if you've already been here with me, then you already know the vibes. Happy New Year. 2025, we showing up this year. When you guys view, when you guys interact with me, when you guys like the video, this encourages me and lets me know that you guys are watching and that my content is useful to you. So please tap in with me. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to be talking about attachment styles, right? And this won't be like a deep dive into attachment styles because number one, I'm not a therapist, and number two, you know, there is a bit of a like rabbit hole as it pertains to the psychology behind attachment styles and, you know, how we develop the, you know, attachment styles and all the rest of that stuff. But I wanted to talk about it because there is an uptick of women that are finally starting to realize that their dynamics in relationships are a bit odd, or how they feel when they are interacting with men have been somewhat toxic. And a lot of us are just ready to break out of that space. And so really, to get down to the nitty-gritty, it's all in your attachment style. All in your attachment style. There is anxious, there is avoidant, there is anxious avoidant, and then there is secure. Okay, and the aim is to be secure, to have a secure attachment style. Anxious is, you know, the best way to describe it is when you're just kind of like, I don't know, like, are we good? Are we okay? I want to be close to you. I want you near. I want to be able to do X, Y, Z. And then avoidant is more like, I need space, back up, it's too much, I might not want to talk, I might not want to communicate, you know, it might be you pulling me in and I'm pushing you away. And then you have anxious avoidant, which is like, I'm feeling anxious, but I don't really want to talk about it, and I don't really want to, you know, get too deep into my anxieties and how I feel. And like I said, again, I am not a therapist, but that is the best way to break it down, layman's terms, in comparison to the definition, the actual clinical definition of the attachment styles. Now, I want to hone in on one relationship dynamic because I see a lot of people that have suffered with this or don't really know that this is what they are experiencing, and so they see it as a very painful position to be in. But the anxious and avoidant mashup, like, I don't know what it is, but anxious girlies love avoidant men. It's crazy. Like, and I'm not saying that this is limited to women and men, right? And I'm not saying this is not something that a man would not also participate in, where a man is more anxious and the woman is avoidant. I'm just saying that this mashup is so popular, and if you don't know about attachment styles, you would think that, you know, it's just this random toxicity that is between you two. But attachment styles are developed as children. Early on in life, we develop what our attachment styles are. And we kind of replay those attachment styles in every relationship dynamic that we have, because that is how we relate to other people, for our safety, for our needs, for our understanding of closeness and emotional well-being, right? And when it comes to the anxious woman with the avoidant man, it's like moth to a flame. And the reason why I know this is because I used to be anxious. I used to have an anxious attachment style. After years of therapy, I'm more on the secure side, but I used to have a very anxious attachment style. And I realized that the men that I would go after would always be very avoidant or just overall narcissists, right? And so while I'm wanting closeness, I'm wanting reassurance, I'm wanting to hear everything is okay, I'm wanting to be able to get in contact with them and be able to, you know, reach them when I need them and to be constantly reassured that everything is okay, their attachment style might be, whoa, it's too much, or I'm going to resist your desires to be so close because I don't know how to function in that type of attachment. I don't know how to function in that type of relationship dynamic. I was hurt so many times as a result. I'm trying to talk to you, you don't want to talk to me, you're not reassuring me, you're not this or that. And even though I knew it was unhealthy, ooh, child, I had to have it. Like, there was something in the back of my mind that said, oh, but this is not forever, I can change you. This is not for, you're just like this right now. Once you're in love, we'll fix this. And then once you're deeper in love, it'll get better. And it's okay, like, this is not permanent. Me being anxious wanted to prove something to myself, right? And this might even jump into another category as we're talking about, you know, emotional well-being or clinical diagnosis. I don't know, but while we're on the topic of attachment styles, my anxious attachment was also fed by my desire to change the outcome. If I can change this, then this means this. If I can make you act this way, then that means that I mean this to you. And then that means that I am better. And then that means that I am worthy. And then that means that my whole existence is validated because you used to be the mean guy to the other girls and now you're the good guy to me. Super toxic, super unhealthy, super unbeknownst to me, until I got so tired of being abused inadvertently or advertently, right, on purpose, or I didn't even know I'm hurting you, right, because that's also a thing. Some people can't even help what they do, right, and then some people do it on purpose. I got tired of that, and as a result, I realized I wanted to start working on my attachment style and really healing myself because it was really giving silly girl. With the avoidant man, they just want the anxiously attached girly, the empathetic girly, because it's more of a thing where, okay, I know you here, I know you know, are there and you're waiting on me to return, but I'm over here and I'm doing what I'm doing, and when I want closeness, then I'll come, and if I don't want closeness, then I won't, and if that hurts you, then oh well, because I'm going to make sure that I am self-sufficient and I don't share with you the needs that I have. How do they end up like that? Well, like I said, attachment styles start really early on. And so the same way I developed an anxious attachment style, or not being settled enough in my emotions to know that I am secure and I will be okay, I needed more reassurance. It, like, conversely with avoidant people of any gender, right, instead of becoming anxious, they may have just become avoidant and say, well, if I don't need you at all, then I won't be let down. Right? If I don't express to you that I have needs that need to get met, if they don't get met, then I'm not disappointed because I wasn't expecting them to get met. In layman's terms, this is how I understand the avoidant attachment to be. So you might find that if you are dealing with someone who is an avoidant, they might be less likely to tell you what's on their mind, to tell you what's bothering them, to tell you that they need something. They are less likely to want to talk about hard topics. They are less likely to crave the same level of closeness that you want. And they might also resent you from wanting it from them, or might not be able to emote in the same way that you do if you are secure or if you are anxious. And so I found that dealing with those men, they liked me around, but it was just like, I'm not gonna give you what you need because I don't emote that way, and I have no intentions on emoting that way, and I know that's what you need, so sometimes I'll give it to you almost in a breadcrumby sort of way, but I don't plan on really being able to show up in that way because I don't know how, right? Our attachment styles start early. And so, like I mentioned a few beats back, when it comes to the anxious attachment style and the avoidant they go together like peanut butter and jelly and make a stale ass sandwich. Don't be like me. I'm telling you, when I was younger, especially my early 20s, oh, I love the men who couldn't love me in the way that I needed. What? Because I wanted to change them. I could change them. What you mean? Love changes everything. I love hard. I'm gonna love you more than I love myself. And then if you don't love me, then it's your fault. And you know, if you don't do what I actually do, this is your fault. You know, really vilifying people for their attachment styles. And the bottom line is that whatever you experience as a childhood, and whatever I experienced in my childhood, that's what we experienced. If I need something from you and you can't give it to me, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily a bad person. It just means that you don't need the same things that I need, whether it's healthy or it's not healthy, and we're not a good match. Simple as that. As we step into our era of being the baddest, you gotta learn your attachment style so that you are not latching on to people who cannot serve you in the way that you need to be served. The anxious don't ever want the anxious, because there's something, and this is my theory, there is something deep down inside about an anxious person that wants to be validated through changing an avoidant person. It's not just I want you to reassure me and love me and make sure that I know everything is okay. It's more of a resist me and I want to make you stop this behavior, and if I am able to stop you from doing this behavior, then I am able to heal whatever took place in my childhood. I am able to undo what took place in my childhood. And as we know, and if we don't know, I'm gonna tell you, that is a fallacy. It's not true. It's not gonna work, because the only reason you like it is because you are trying to satisfy something deep down inside, and you're never going to be able to satisfy it because that person is going to consistently resist you. And that's why it's like a kryptonite type of relationship. If you are with somebody who is the opposite of your attachment style, and typically we are, you get led on a high-speed chase. That's really, it's a sexy high-speed chase with a lot of ups and downs, a roller coaster. Because sometimes you guys will meet in the middle, but a lot of the times you will not. And you will base your validity of who you are on what they do or what they are willing to do for you. Whether that is answer when I call, you know, satisfy my emotional needs when I need it, you know, be close to me when I want to be close to you. And you're going to end up getting hurt. Can you exist in a relationship as an anxious attachment style person with somebody who has an avoidant attachment style? You can exist in a relationship, but will it ultimately be fulfilling? It will be a toxic dynamic, because the goal is to be secure, right? The goal is to be with someone who is secure. And what is a secure attachment style? Oh, I know if they leave, they'll come back. Oh, I know if, you know, they don't come back, then I will still be okay. I know if I call and they don't answer, maybe they're busy. And if they're not busy, whatever they're doing, then that's what they're doing, and I'll find out in due time. I'm worthy with or without their validation. They're worthy with or without my validation for them. I'm going to be okay no matter what. That is the goal. But when we are basing how we do things with a attachment style that is not the healthiest, whether that's avoidant, because being avoidant is not the healthiest, and neither is being anxious avoidant, and neither is being anxious. When we are operating in those spaces, it's a trauma lens, and we end up picking people, places, or things that replay that trauma out. And I wanted to make sure I made this video because as we go into a brand new year and people are going to start putting on their to-do list to get out there more, to date more, to find the love of their lives, to invest in themselves and in others who they are considering on long-term partners or, you know, embarking on new relationships. And as we do that, I want to make sure that I share with you all that your attachment style has a lot to do with your level of focus and success. Because if you are an anxious girly and you go date somebody who's avoidant and now you're obsessed on the hamster wheel trying to constantly get something from them, constantly, you know, seek that validation or that reassurance or get those needs met from them, you cannot focus on getting to this money, okay? You cannot focus on looking your best, feeling your best, working on your gut health, okay? You cannot focus on growing your edges back from that perm you got when you were 6 months. Listen, we gotta focus on the things that make sense. And if you have an anxious attachment style, ain't no need to feel bad. Invest in the tools that it's gonna take so that you can develop a secure attachment style, because only the secure survive, okay? Only the secure survive, because when we are insecure, aka avoidant, anxious avoidant, or anxious, we can't really see life as full as it is. And not just in a relationship space, overall. Because we'll find ourselves, well, I need this, I don't know, I'm unsure, or still feeling the same way, I need this, I don't know, I'm unsure, and not speaking about it, or acting like we don't need anything at all, but still needing the things, right? Secure gives you an opportunity to, hey, I do need these things, but if I don't get these needs met, I can meet my own needs or find a way to get these needs met. I will be okay, right? And that's a real boss move right there. Developing for yourself the ability to be securely attached so that you can really step out and really move around the cabin like the boss you are, okay? You also don't want to be involved with people who are going to prey on your insecurities. So it's important that you really work on being as securely attached as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know that you loved it or you hated it, or drop comments in the comment section. Bye.